What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Deep Digger Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew, with my other host over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Go ahead and drop some comments. It's going to be a good pod because you know what? The 49ers won. We survive in advance, baby. And guess what? We also hit our diamond pick of the week. That's why it's really important for you to like and subscribe.
Yeah, guys, we made a lot of money this weekend, so make sure you subscribe because on Saturday, before the next 49ers game, we're going to give you another juicy pick to make a lot of money this playoffs.
I think it's going to be the biggest bet of the year. So I'm excited for it.
Jimmy's not going to be back. Why would we pay Jimmy $20+ million to come in when we've seen that Brock Purdy can run this offense better than him? And even at the end of the day, say Trey does become our starter next year, like we still wouldn't want to waste that money on Jimmy G. I want it to be Brock Purdy next year, but if it was Trey, I would just hope that Jimmy G didn't come back because then we wasted money. Why are we going to have three quarterbacks that potentially start for us?
Bosa this offseason. So, like, you're going to start to see dollars are going to start to get tight, bro. Like, you can only make so many players the highest position, the highest paid X, the highest paid D end, the highest paid tight end. Like, we can only do that so many times before it starts to like affect the rest of the cap. And like, hey, where are we gonna like allocate some of these dollars? One of these guys who hasn't got a contract yet and was calling for it in the middle of the season was Jimmie Ward. Jimmie Ward did have a bonehead play during the first half, like at the end of the first half, but I think it was decided long ago when Tashuan Gibson was actually like playing out of his mind and getting all these picks. Like, more than likely, we could walk away from Jimmie Ward pretty easily. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, let's dig into Jimmie Ward because he's beloved by the fans. No doubt about it. He's been a guy that didn't get his respect for so long. And then to make the top 100 list and really like the fans embrace him, the league kind of embraced him in that moment to where it's like, okay, yeah, this guy is a great safety. He may not put up interception numbers, but he does so much more for this defense that we recognize he's a great player. And for Tashuan Gibson to come in off the street and play the way he's played, I'd say he played at an all-pro level this season. I know Ufunga got all the hype, and maybe it is because he is such like a more bigger name, like he's such a fun player. Gibson might have had a better season than Ufunga. I think it's arguable. And it was such a lock that even when Jimmie Ward came back healthy, you would have thought, hey, this guy who was a leader on our team, who's been a starter for years, is just going to get back in his spot.
Captain too, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
captain. You would think he'd get his spot back, and then Gibson, hey, you were a feel-good story guy, but you got to hit the bench. Maybe you go to the nickel or we try you out somewhere. No, they didn't even hesitate. They were like, Jimmy, if you want to see the field, you're going to have to play nickel again because he's switched around in the past early in his career. Yeah. And if we didn't have that hole in nickel, he would not be on the field. That's how good Gibson has been playing this year. And I know fans all season have been like, well, I really hope Jimmie Ward comes back. And it's been kind of this debate on Twitter, like, oh, I wonder if we'll pay him if he'll come back. He's not coming back, guys. Like, the second he didn't replace Gibson when he came back, he was not going to be worth the money to bring him unless he comes on a very small deal to be the backup and to be that nickel spot, which I don't think you guys want that because everyone wants to shit on him in the nickel spot on Twitter. Everyone's complaining about how bad he is in the nickel. So why would you want him back anyways in that spot? I think he wasn't that bad.
He wasn't. He's actually been very serviceable at the nickel spot. I think he's a guy who, honestly, he's very talented. He's going to make a bag, dude. He's going to go out in free agency and he's going to make a bag and he's going to deserve it. But I think the way Tashuan Gibson is playing, we could still give him a team-friendly deal and then have Sam Womack move up into that nickel spot like we had at the beginning of the year. And Sam Womack looked pretty good, but I think because Jimmie Ward, again, was a captain, has played in this defense for so long, has played on this team for so long, you had to give him that spot. But Sam Womack is coming up. Sam Womack is going to be that nickel next year. And I don't think if I'm Jimmie Ward, I'm not taking a team friendly deal. I'm going to go get that bag.
Yeah, and I already see on Twitter some reports. There's been like two DBs the 49ers have already picked up for reserve futures contracts. So I think we have a lot of options at corner next year. If Demo Lenore still looks this good, how do you keep him from the starting spot if Emmanuel Mosley's still not 100%? And people forget we still have E-Man coming back. So Mooney Ward.
E-Man's going to be a free agent, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, after this injury, do you think he's going to be expensive? He might come back on a 1 year, like $2 million deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Because this was the year where he was going to make that jump and get paid. So it might get pushed back another year. We get him back cheap. Ambry Thomas, it's weird because, yeah, he's been hurt. But 2 years ago at the end of the season, he was looking like a lock starter going into the next year. And he sort of fell off a cliff. And then you got Sam Womack, who you thought was going to be a lock starter going into this year after the preseason, and he's barely seen the field. But all these young guys, we just need one of them to hit on the opposite side of Mooney Ward. And then you got, like, at the safety position, if we just bring back Gibson for another year or two, we got young guys like Tariq Castro-Fields who needed a year or two to fill out and really develop. So he's been sitting back there on the practice squad. We got some other young guys.
Odom.
George Odom has looked great. He made the Pro Bowl as a special teamer. So, and then you got to figure we're going to bring in some good young safeties. We got to bring in some draft picks. So there's plenty of options in the secondary right now, and I'm liking the future of it. And is it worth paying Jimmie Ward $5 million, $4 million? I don't know. Like, I don't think it is.
I think because you are so heavily invested in your two linebackers, in your defensive line, there's multiple first-round picks on that D-line. You have to stay with that. You can't go out and splurge and get another high-ticket corner or another high-ticket safety. You have to just roll with these young guys who are hungry and ready to prove themselves. Mooney Ward is that high ticket person. Like, you cannot pay anyone else on that secondary because you just gave Dre Greenlaw a new contract. You're going to have to go out and pay Nick Bosa. He's going to make stupid money this offseason. So you're going to have to start really, hey, like, these young guys need to step up, which Demo Lenore has looked awesome. He's going to probably, if Emmanuel Mosley doesn't come back on a team-friendly deal, I think they're comfortable rolling with Diamador Lenore. If I was them, I would retain Tashuan Gibson and have him starting because him and Hufanga are already comfortable playing together. So I think that's going to be the core nucleus moving forward. And then you just have them fight it out for the nickel spot.
Yeah, as far as cap, it just doesn't make sense to bring back Jimmy when Brock Purdy's going to be making less than $1 million a year for the next 2 years. And then Trey Lance is on his rookie deal. And you could possibly, if Brock Purdy does remain the starter all next season, you could get out of Trey Lance's contract in a year.
Yeah.
And then just bring in a veteran for a cheap deal. So the quarterback room is going to be looking so cheap that these deals for like a Greenlaw, Debo's deal, Nick Bosa's deal, Ayuk's upcoming deal, all these deals are going to look amazing because your quarterback room is going to be so cheap. I just don't think right now we have the money to really waste on the secondary when our staple of our team of our defense is defensive line and linebackers, and then whoever can play above their level in the secondary, that's all we need.
Yep.
But
that's the bread and butter there, is that pass rush, good linebacking core. Cornerbacks, just hold on as long as you can.
Because, I mean, be real, would you rather pay $4 million to Jimmie Ward or give $5-6 million to Amenihu to come back, or Ebukam to come back?
Even Jordan Willis.
Yeah, all these guys are going to get all these guys are going to get poached. So if we can, throw a little money at one of them to at least keep some consistency on that side of the line, I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Jimmie Ward should stay with the 49ers next year?